So, përshëndetje të gjithëve. Unë jam Elsoni, jam nga Shqipëria dhe banoj në Gjermani. So this is a free Albanian lesson. It's the 10th year that I'm organizing these free group lessons, and the next one will be held on the first Sunday of May. That will be the 5th of May. Yes, I want to thank you all for joining the lesson. This is a new, we'll talk about a whole new topic. It's another case, no more with tenses. We did a lot with those. I also have a new design for the slides. I'll show you in a bit. And I've also decided to remove the advertisements on the videos so you can watch them without advertisements. Mirë, we'll start with the introduction. Përshëndetje, Francesca. Nga je dhe pse dëshiron të mësosh shqip?
Ciao, përshëndetje. Jam Francesca, jam nga Italia, banoj në Udine, afër Venezia.
Afër Venecias, po?
Venecias. Dhe I will go on in English. I want to learn ship. I want to learn Albanian because I like this language.
Shumë mirë. So dua të mësoj shqip sepse më pëlqen kjo gjuhë, më pëlqen gjuha shqipe. Mirë, thank you for joining. We have here Vladimir. Përshëndetje. Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay, Cecilia.
Bonjour, I'm Cecilia.
Oh.
Unë jam në Eurikum.
Nga
Unë jam
Eurikumi.
Filipenese. Eurikum. Unë jam Filipenese. Tani banoj në Eurikum.
Shumë mirë.
Per misioni.
Për një mision, po. Shumë mirë.
I have a sister.
Sister Cecilia.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Faleminderit. Dhe Caroline. Hello, Caroline. Përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje. Më quhem Caroline.
Po.
I'm English, but I live in Germany.
You live in Germany. Where in Germany?
In Detmold, near Bielefeld.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're German, you said, or English?
No, I'm English, but I speak fluent
English,
German
okay.
also.
Okay, I'm also living in Germany, and Torben as well. The other member is also from Germany.
Cool.
Freiburg, in the very south.
Right in the south.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. Okay, so the other ones are all students who have been joining here for a longer time. So we'll start with the lesson because it's going to be a very long lesson, okay? Mirë, let me start with the screen share. So we have Teresa here, Nuran, Lenson, përshëndetje, Monica. Okay. Hello. Yep, so here we are again, and this is the design. It looks nice, right? Today's topic is the ablative case. It's the last case. We used to have 7 cases like many years ago, but then those 2 of them, the vocative and locative, I think, case were removed because they were very irregular and very hardly used. That's why nowadays we have only 5 cases, and this is the very last case we'll learn. It's called the ablative case. It's very, very, very used, and it's very regular. Yes, we'll see today. So it's the ablative case. We'll learn how to use it, and we'll learn some adverbs of location with that, and we'll do some exercises as well. Should you have any questions, you can interrupt me anytime. And yeah, if you're watching from YouTube and you want to join this lesson, here's the link at the very bottom of the slide. You have the link there to join. The second slide, so what is a noun? We've been talking about this like lots of times. A noun in the Albanian language, they have a form. It can be definite or indefinite or specific, non-specific. In English, it's the famous the. In German, die, der, das, etc. We have cases, as I said, 5 cases, and today we'll talk about the ablative case. Please make sure you have watched or you know some things about the other cases because it's important to know before we start with the ablative. There are 3 genders of nouns in Albanian: masculine, feminine, and neutral. And I still have to organize a lesson about the neutral gender because we haven't talked about that. And a noun can be singular or plural as well. Yeah, so these are the characteristics of a noun in Albanian. The cases, here they are, they are abbreviations as well. ablative, just ABL ablative. And each case can be definite or indefinite. Now, the ablative case of a noun is very diverse. Its usage is very diverse. So it cannot be used just, we said, like for nominative, that's the subject of the sentence, accusative, the object, dative, the indirect object, or genitive, the possession case. So we cannot have one thing for the ablative because it's very used, it's very diverse. But one of the usages is here is used when two nouns modify each other. For example, in English, we have fruit juice. Not the juice of the fruit, that would be genitive, so the possession case, simply fruit juice or orange juice or etc. So that's ablative. That is one of the usages. Popi lëng portokali, I am drinking orange juice. So noun number one, that's lëng, which is juice, and noun number two, that's orange. And the second noun, so that one in blue, that's the ablative part. Because popi lëng is the object, I'm drinking juice, right? What type of juice? Orange juice in this case, that's the ablative case. We'll talk about this today, and this is again one of the usages. Here, slide number 5. Here we have a full overview or review of the other cases we have done. We have covered them in the previous lessons. You can take a look at those. The videos are on my YouTube channel. So we will compare ablative with the other cases as well. And here we have the indefinite and the definite form. And this is the singular. We haven't talked about the plural of nouns yet. If you remember the dative case, which we did a long time ago, all you have to do is, it's basically a copy of the dative. Exactly the same endings, the same suffixes will be also for the ablative. Now, what is different? Those were the same also for genitive, if you remember, the same endings. So check out the dative and genitive, they have the same endings. But genitive was different because of those articles in front. So in English, those articles are of, or the S with apostrophe, the book of, or Elson's book, etc. So in Albanian, that is I, et, or sa. Now, the same endings will be also for ablative, but what is different here is that something in that empty space there, we need something there. We need either chfar, we'll see it in the next slide. We need an adverb of location, a preposition. I'll let you know which ones exactly, but you need something in front of it, and that's how you can recognize it's the ablative. So what we need in front of that, we'll check it out in the following slides. So they are exactly the same endings like dative and the same endings like genitive. So there is nothing new, no new endings. Okay, any questions so far? Okay.
So you're talking about the singular only until now.
So this is the singular. We haven't learned the plural yet. We'll talk about that in another lesson. These are the nouns in singular, and these are the masculine nouns only. And the feminine nouns are in the next slide, slide number 6. And again, exactly the same. If you remember that the endings for the dative, I put some examples there. Lule, that's flower, motor, sister, shtepi, that's house or home, and gazette, newspaper. So if you remember the dative, it will have exactly the same endings, also the genitive and also the ablative. The same for definite and the indefinite form, the same endings. The usage will be different, but the ending is the same. So how to make the difference between them is that the genitive must have one of these in front, I, et, or sa, and the ablative must have a word there in front. I'll let you know which ones exactly. So again, they are exactly the same like the dative, the same endings. Okay, any questions so far? Yeah, so this is how to build the dative, what the suffix is, what the endings is. Now let's learn how to use it. There are 3 usages of the dative case. Slide number 7. Dative case is used with the question pronoun chfar. Chfar means what? And always with the word chfar. And by the way, in spoken Albanian, we quite often say simply cha. So that's the slang version, and it's very used, cha, like that. After chfar, you will always use the ablative case, and be careful, always ablative indefinite. So where are we here on the table? So either the masculine or feminine noun, depending on what noun. So you will use always ablative indefinite. So this one here, not the definite one. So which means in this empty line there, empty space there, çfar is one of the words that we use with ablative. Let's check the examples. And that çfar means not simply what, but more like what type of or what kind of. In German, was für. So what type of, what kind of. That's the first meaning of çfar. And the other one is to indicate surprise. So let's check the first meaning. So what kind of or what type of, and then the noun has to be ablative. So çfar pune bën. You have seen pun with the two dots on top. You have seen puna. So pune is the ablative one. If you go back to the table, slide number 6, here we have, for example, pun is, if we take the nominative on top, pun is there. And in ablative, it becomes pune, changes the ending to e. So what's special about ablative is also that in feminine, they always take e, lule, luleje, motre, shtëpije, gazete, pune. So one of the usages is with çfar in front. Çfar pune bën, what job do you do? What kind of job do you do? Yes, what job do you do? Çfar pune bën. If the noun is masculine, let's go back to the table, number 5. Check out the endings, e, very rarely an u, if you remember the rule. So, what was the example? Profesión, yes. Profesión is a masculine noun. We are here. Profesión, just like chen, the same last letter. Chen, cheni, profesioni, so indefinite. Çfar profesioni ke. In English, we say, what is your profession? In Albanian, we say, what profession do you have? So, profesioni, that's ablative. Çfar profesioni. Ablative, indefinite always. So, the indefinite form. Ëmbëlsirë is a feminine noun, just like pun, pune, ëmbëlsirë, ëmbëlsire. Çfar ëmbëlsire po ha? What type, what kind of dessert are you eating? Çfar ëmbëlsire. Çfar detyre ke? What is your task? What is your duty? Detyr can be a task or duty or a homework. Çfar detyre ke is also what homework do you have? It could be any of those. So ablative. Those with a are all feminine nouns. Pune, ëmbëlsire, detyre. Çfar restoranti është? What type of restaurant is it? Çfar luleje po mbjell? What type of flower or what kind of flower are you planting? Mbjell is a verb to plant. Then we have this very common expression, në çfar ore, at what time? So with a. Në çfar ore fillon punë? What time do you start work? Çfar date është sot? What's the date today? Or what day is it today? So what day of the week? Çfar dite është sot? So these nouns in green are all ablative. Some are masculine, some feminine, but they're all ablative. So what you see here is that the feminine nouns take a. Tell me.
All those who, when we use çfar, it all will be in ablative case.
Every time, yes.
Every time, okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
So çfar plus a noun, right? Because çfar is not only used with nouns. If I say, what are you doing? There is no noun there. Çfar po bën? Right? So only with nouns. Çfar plus a noun, that noun has to be in ablative indefinite form. So keep in mind.
Also tell çabën.
Exactly. Yes, çabën, but there is no noun there. There is no ablative there.
Okay.
Right? We are talking about nouns. A noun are these in green, all of them. Those are nouns. So bën is a verb. We're not talking about that. That's a whole other topic. So çfar pune bën. These in green, those are nouns. And what you can see here is that all feminine nouns take an e. Çfar pune, ëmbëlsire, detyre, luleje, ore, date, dite. These are all feminine nouns. They all take an e. If they're masculine nouns, they take an e. Çfar profesioni, çfar restoranti, çfar hoteli, çfar parku, etc.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So can you also use çka here? Çka pune bën, or is it only with çfar?
No, çka would be with verbs. So çka
that's only with verbs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And the other question, can I connect then 2 ablatives? For example, çfar detyre shtëpie ke?
Say it again.
Çfar detyre shtëpie ke?
Yes. So those would be 2 ablatives. One because of çfar, and the other one we'll see the next usage when 2 nouns modify each other. Yes, okay. You can say that.
Thank you.
Yes, you can say that.
I also have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sure.
The sentence, në çfar ore fillon pune, pun. Can you say në çfarë ore fillon puna?
Yes, and what's the difference? So I'm asking here.
I thought that because in all the languages that I know, like Spanish, Romanian, we would never say but puna, like empiezas el trabajo.
Yes, yes.
You never say empiezas trabajo in Spanish, so I don't see why it would be indefinite. It's really confusing to me.
Right. So both are correct, but I am asking, what time do you start work, and what time does work start?
Okay. So in this sentence, it would be like you start work.
Yes. Correct.
I don't understand why it's indefinite, because in Spanish it's always definite.
So
Empiezas el trabajo.
The work, I see. So in Albanian we say I start work, unless you want to specify it, I'm starting the work. Otherwise, I'm having a lesson, for example. Po bëj mësim instead of mësimin. Po filloj punë instead of punën. I mean, you can say both, of course, but it's typically with the indefinite.
So after filloj, you would use the indefinite?
Unless you want to specify, you can say also po filloj mësimin. Unless you want to specify, both are correct.
Okay.
If you ask someone about general, if I ask you what time do you, also in English, what time do you start work, not what time do you start the work, right?
Yeah, but in Spanish it's a bit different.
I understand. Yes. El trabajo. So we would use the indefinite as a general question. But then if I know what job you do, etc., and I'm asking about today, what time do you start it today? You can also put it definite. Çfarë ore fillon punën? It's not common.
Okay, thank you. So it would be punan, right? Because it's
it would be punan, yes. So the work, accusative. Yeah. Or çfarë ore fillon puna? What time does the work start? And then puna is nominative there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
S'ka problem. Okay, so that was the first meaning of çfarë, what type of, what kind of. The other meaning is to indicate surprise. For example, çfarë kohë bukur sot, and that one is very often used with ça kohë bukur. What a beautiful weather, or such a beautiful weather. Çfarë kohë bukur. And here you can also use sa, but be careful, sa will follow nominative. Sa is not how much here, it is also such, or what a beautiful weather. But be careful, it will follow nominative, not the ablative. So we would say sa koh e bukur. Nominative indefinite. Sa koh e bukur.
An expression sa bukur.
Sa bukur, yes. How nice, how beautiful. Samir, oh how great, Samir. Saftot, how cold. So with çfarë, ablative. Çfarë kohë e bukur, what a beautiful weather. Çfarë mësimi I vështirë, what a difficult lesson.
But ko is time, I thought. Isn't weather moti?
It's the same. Mot and ko are the same.
Okay.
Mot is a bit more formal. If you want to say weather forecast, parashikimi motit, yes.
Okay.
Çfarë mësimi I vështirë, what a difficult lesson. So all these nouns are indefinite, not the definite form. So again, we are here, the usage of the indefinite ablative. Çfarë njeriu I mirë që ishte, he was such a nice person, or what a nice person he was, literally. Çfarë njeriu I mirë. Çfarë guximi, what courage, such a courage. Çfarë guximi. Çfarë durimi, what patience. So he has such a great patience. You say çfarë durimi. Çfarë durimi ke, for example. Çfarë luleje, what a flower, such a çfarë luleje e bukur, depends on the adjective there, or simply when you're surprised, çfarë luleje, what a flower. Right? So indefinite with this. Mirë. We also use sa, but that one would be nominative then. That's the first usage of ablative with çfarë indicating what type of, what kind of, or such a, what a. Any questions? So it is çfarë plus a noun, not çfarë plus a verb. Yeah, that was the first usage. Let's check out the second usage, slide number 8, and try to, I don't know, keep notes maybe, because we'll have an exercise in the following slides. Slide number 8, we use the ablative. This is very important. We use the ablative with the following prepositions or adverbs. Most of them are adverbs or prepositions of location. So such as afer, Or pran, synonyms, yes, near, close, nearby, after pran, larg, far, jat, during the lesson, during the night, during the day, per jat, along the street, along the river, per bal, per veg, beside, except for, per para, prapa. So per para and para, those are synonyms. Prapa and pas are also. Yasht, Brenda, Maitas, Diatas. A good way to memorize this is put the opposites together. So put inside and outside, left and right, in front of and behind, etc. Krahas, beside. Kunder, opposite. Pray, so that's a preposition. From, because. Reth, around. Sipas, according to. Post, large, sieper, etc. So these are all prepositions or adverbs of location. So now it's up to you whether the noun will be definite or indefinite. Just like in English, you can say, I am near the building or I am near a building. So now you can choose whichever, what you want to say. Do you want to use a definite or indefinite, depending on what you mean, right? So now in this empty line here, one word was chfar, what we just said, and the other one is any of these here. So any of these can be put there. In both of them, in the definite and indefinite, in masculine and singular, depending what you want to say. Mostly we use the definite, but it could also be indefinite. So to summarize the endings of feminine nouns, we said they take so in the indefinite form, feminine nouns, they take an e, chfar, pune, date, dite, right? They take an e, and masculine nouns take an e, very rarely an u. For the indefinite. What about for the definite? If you remember from the table, or we can go back there. Masculine nouns, here we are. The last letter is always a T. Check out the last letter, always a T. Yeah. And for feminine, always a S, an S. So let me write it here. Feminine nouns, a S, masculine nouns, a T. So now we can make some examples. Monica, how do you say during the lesson? During the lesson.
Okay, wait a sec. Jat masimit.
Masimit. So masim, always you should know the gender of the noun, which is masim. Masim is masculine, masim, masimi. So now you put that T, because we said for masculine nouns you put a T. Jat masimit during the lesson. Here. Monica, how do you say during the night?
Wait a sec. Jat nate.
Nat is feminine.
Nate.
During the night.
Ah, yeah, that is indefinite.
That is definite. The night.
Natas.
Yes,
natas.
What you said was indefinite. Yes. So feminine, jat, natas.
Jat nates. Natas.
Yes, the night. So and then you can say jatnie nate during a nat, which is mean it's correct grammatically, but when would you use that? It's very rare, right? So that's why I said both are correct, definite or indefinite. It's up to you. However, mostly we use the definite. So jat natas.
Can I say also the indefinite form in the sense of every night, each night, jat nate?
Yes, you can say jdo nat, jdo dit, but it will not be. It will be nominative. Yes, jdo nat, unshko. Yes, that's nominative. It's not ablative.
But not jat nate in the sense of every night.
Natas, yeah, jat natas, but not with jdo. Right? Here. How do you say inside? Teresa, how do you say inside the house or home?
Brenda.
So what? Shtepi is the word. Is it feminine or masculine?
Shtepit. It's a feminine. So
it's feminine. So what's the ending?
Shtepit. The house. So it's Shtepitus. No, Shtepis.
Shtepis, yes.
Shtepis. Okay.
Correct. When a noun ends in a vowel, especially a stressed vowel, you add an extra but when you pronounce it, it's irrelevant. We don't pronounce the at the end. So Brenda Shtepis, Brenda Shchipris, Norvegis, Brenda Shtepis. Shtepis. Some nouns, we did talk about this a long time ago. Some nouns, so they end in a stress vowel, you add an extra at the end. Shtepis, Shtepris with an extra but you don't pronounce it. So with an S, Brenda Shtepis, correct. Here. Afer Shtepis, Pran Shtepis, Larg Shtepis, Perbal Shtepis, Perpara Shtepis, any of these. Torben, how do you say around the school?
Res Skoles.
Res Skoles, Shumir. So Skol. Put the S. I'm saying around the school, Res Skoles. Around a school, grammatically it's correct, but how often do you use it? Res nie Skole. Okay. Mir. How do you say? Let me see who is here. Caroline. So how do you say according to? Here we have according to Elson. My name. Unmute yourself. It's muted. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't understand. According to
Elson, my name. Elson.
Sipas.
Correct. And then?
Elson.
So my name is masculine or feminine? What do we add?
Elson muss ich ein T. I have to put a T on the end. Yeah.
Elson. Exactly. So.
Sipas Elson.
So where is the T? So Masim, Masimi, the definite form, nominative, Masi, because there are two consonants together. It's difficult to put just a T at the end, right? Masimit, el sonit.
Sonit. Okay.
Sipas el sonit, according to Elson.
El sonit.
Yes, correct. So let me go back to the table. If you're following me from the table, so we are here, my name here, Cheni, Elsoni, right? In accusative, it would be Elsonin. In dative, it would be Elsonit. And also in the ablative, it would be Elsonit. So to the nominative there, you put a T at the end. Here, Sipas Elsonit. Yes, correct. Okay, so it's just vocabulary. Memorize the words, these, and then you add, is the noun definite or indefinite? You add these letters at the end. We'll do an exercise about this as well. Any questions?
So I can also use right and left in this sense. Right of the house, diastas stepis.
Yes, correct. Diastas stepis, maitas stepis. Okay. Ref stepis, sieper, up, large, post, under the house. I mean, grammatically it's correct. Yeah, si pas me sit, and if it were feminine, si pas me ses. Si pas me écoute to the doctor. Okay. Let's go. That was the second usage. So with this list of words, and you put these right in front in this empty line there. That's their position. And let's go now to the third and one of the most important usages. I said that the ablative case is very diverse. The usage is very diverse. So we use ablative case when two nouns. Now it's a bit complicated at the beginning, but I'll make it as easy as possible for you to understand. We use ablative case when two nouns modify each other. The first noun can be any of the other cases. So what does it mean? There are two nouns who modify each other, like orange juice, for example. There is orange and then there is juice. There are two nouns. The first noun in Albanian can be any of these cases. However, most typically is the either nominative or accusative. Indefinite. So this form here, the first noun will typically, I would say 99% of the time will have that form, the first noun. So what am I saying so far? Let me go on slide number 9 here. For example, un poha mish. That means I'm eating meat, just meat in general. So mish is accusative. It's the object case, right? Now, what if we want to modify the word meat with another word after? That second word has to be then ablative. And ablative, let's go back to the table again, indefinite form, this one here, always indefinite. So the first noun indefinite, either nominative or accusative, and the second noun also indefinite. Let's go back to the example. Un poha mish, I'm having like meat, and un poha mish pule. In English, you say I'm eating chicken. In Albanian, we say I'm eating chicken's meat, right? So pule, that's the ablative case. The noun is just pool. That's the basic form for the noun, pool. But we need the ablative form of it because there are two nouns that are modifying each other, pule. Other examples, mish lope, that literally is the cow's meat, so beef in English. Or diath lope, the cow's cheese, cow cheese in English. Chumers lope, cow's milk, right? So lope, ablative. Mish deri, pig's meat, that's pork. Mish vici, baby cow's meat, veal. Mish pule, mish chenji, that's lamb. So when two nouns modify each other, the first noun either nominative or accusative, but be careful, indefinite form. Or lecure means leather. For example, puts lecure, leather shoe or shoes. Rip lecure, leather belt. Jacket lecure, leather jacket. Or shisha, that's a bottle. A bottle can be shisha chumshti, a milk bottle. Can be shisha vere, a wine bottle. Shisha bire, a beer bottle. Got vere, got a glass. Can be a wine glass, got vere, got ui, water glass, got bire, beer glass. So these in bold are all ablative, indefinite. And what were the endings? Feminine nouns with a, masculine nouns with e. Check them out, they're all either a or e. Masculine nouns very, very, very rarely can take an u. So if you remember from the very nominative case, those were the nouns that end in one of these three letters. You put u at the end. But it's very rare. We have it only, I have only this example, for example, trico pambuku, cotton shirt. Shirt, tell me?
No, I just asked cotton because it's
okay, yes, cotton, correct. Cotton shirt, trico pambuku. Lule dele, it's a type of flower in Albania. We call it the sheep's flower, lule dele. I think it looks like chamomile or something. Lule dieli, sunflower. So the flower of the sun, sunflower, lule dieli. Tricoleshi, wool shirt or wool blouse or shirt. Tricopambuco, cotton. So the noun has to be both nouns indefinite, but the second noun is the one which is the ablative. And these are the endings, a for feminine nouns, e for masculine nouns. Mir. Now, that was not the tricky part. The tricky part comes now. For example, I said that both nouns have to be indefinite in order for us to use the ablative. But can the first noun be definite? It can, but then it all changes the construction. So un po hamish, that means I'm eating meat. Check out the first sentence there. You can say, for example, mishi është I shishëm. The meat, now it's definite. The meat is delicious, right? The previous one was I'm eating meat, so it's indefinite, but we want to use definite now, and it would be mishi është I shishëm. At the moment when you use the definite form of the noun, then the whole construction will now be genitive case. In other words, for example, here we are saying I am eating chicken, right? Or in Albanian we would say chicken's meat. And in the second one we are saying the meat of the chicken. So we change, it all changes to the genitive case. So the possession case, it's the last case we did from the last lesson. The meat of the chicken, now it changes all the construction. If you go back to the table, now we are here with an article of one of these four. The meat of the chicken. So është I shishëm is delicious. Let me give you another example. I'll create a new slide. 1 second. So, for example, un po pi, what can I, okay, un po pi qumësht, lope. So I am drinking cow's milk. Cow's milk, not the milk of the cow, cow's milk, in like two nouns modifying each other. But what if I want to say the cow's milk is expensive or fresh or whatever? So that means that I will have to put the first noun in the definite form, qumështi. And when that becomes definite, then the rest of the sentence will be in the genitive, the possession case, qumështi I lopës. And then është something something. right? So make sure you have watched the previous lessons because they are related to the genitive case, which was the last case we did the last time. Yes, so with the possession, with the article of. Okay, any questions?
Yes, how would you connect an adjective? For example, the good cow's milk is expensive.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what adjective you put. Be careful where you put the adjective. So are we saying the milk is good or the cow is good? If the milk is good, then right after milk. Lopez, that means the good milk of the cow.
So 2 times E then.
Yes, one of the adjective, one of the genitive.
Okay.
Right? But be careful if you put it after Lopez, then you are saying the milk of the good cow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. What else?
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Yes, that was the third usage. It's a bit confusing, but if you remember the previous cases, or you can watch the videos we did about the previous cases, if you remember those, if you keep those in mind, the usage and how it's built, then it's much easier. That's why ablative is the very last case that you learn in Albanian, because it's related with the other cases. You should know the other cases before you learn this one. Yeah. If you're watching from YouTube and you want to join this lesson, check out the Skype link. You can join there. And the next 3 lessons will be in May, the 5th of May. We will still be talking about the ablative case, but about the pronouns, not the nouns. Let's do some exercises. Slide number 11. So the first exercise is about çfar. You'll have to use the correct form of the noun. There might be new words, but follow the rule. If the noun is masculine, you put an. So after çfar, we use the indefinite form. If the noun is masculine, you put E. If the noun is feminine, you put an extra A at the end. So, okay. Monica,
Okay.
the first and the second. Let me just mention these and then you learn them. Monica, the first and the second. Cecilia, the third and the fourth. Torben, 5th and the 6th and the 7th one. And then the other exercise, the other ones. So if you're ready, we can start.
Just a second.
Take your time. So be careful. Çfar plus ablative, and the noun is indefinite. Check out the table if you don't memorize, if you cannot memorize.
Okay, so çfar libri preferon të lexosh?
Shumë mirë. Çfar libri? What kind of book do you like to read? Çfar libri preferon të lexosh? So ablative indefinite. And
the second one, I think it stays the same. Çfar sjellje? I'm not sure.
So if a noun, it's a feminine noun, right?
Yeah.
Let me take a simple example. If a noun has already an A in the basic form.
You add an ye, right?
Yes, you add
Çfar
a
sjellje je?
Shumë mirë, correct. Çfar sjellje je? Çfar sjellje je e pahishme? Anyone knows what a pahishme is?
Not nice.
Yes,
unpolite.
Not nice behavior. There should be an English word for it. Any native English speakers? Who was Caroline?
Impolite, you could say.
Like impolite, yes, exactly. Impolite.
Improper.
So,
yeah.
Improper, perfect, yes, improper. Such an improper behavior. Sjellje is a behavior. So if a noun has an A and you want, use the ablative, you add an extra A. Lule, luleje, shoqe, shoqeje, sjellje, sjellje.
Yeah.
And you drop the pa, it is proper, e hishme. Here. Who had the server?
Cecilia. Çfar ndikimi?
Yes. Ndikimi.
Ndikimi ka teknologjia. Ndikimi ka teknologjia në jetën tonë të përditshme.
Shumë. Do you know how to translate it?
Ndikimi. What kind of technology?
Effect.
What kind of technology?
In our daily life.
In our life
is daily.
Daily. In our daily life.
Shumir. What kind of effect does the technology have on our daily lives?
Çfar këshillje
yes.
do të më jepje?
What type of advice or what piece of
That you
advice
can
would you
give to
give me?
me? Can you give me? Yeah.
Would you give me? So what piece of advice would you give me? Çfarë këshille? You add an
Will
A
you
or
give
you
me?
change it to an A.
Këshill.
Këshill, that's a piece of advice. Okay. Sjellje, behavior. Torben?
Çfarë përvoje keni pasur deri tani?
Shumë mirë. Përvoje. Përvoj is
what kind of experience
shumë mirë.
did you have until
Have
now?
you had so far?
Have you had, yes.
Keni pasur. Perfect tense.
Çfarë përfitimi kam unë?
Shumë mirë. What's përfitim?
What kind of benefit do I have?
Përfitimi. So what kind of benefit do I have? Or what benefit do I have? Çfarë përfitimi kam unë? And the last one?
Also me.
Yes.
Çfarë ndryshimi mund të presim në politikat e vendit ton?
Shumë mirë.
What kind of change can we expect from in the politics of our country?
Shumë mirë, correct. Çfarë ndryshimi, what type of change, çfarë përfitimi, what type of or what kind of benefit, çfarë përvoje, what kind of experience, etc. So again, if the noun is masculine, you add E. If the noun is feminine, you add an A. That's the general rule. Always indefinite. Any questions here? Okay, let's go to the slide number 12. So here, let me see your names again. Number 1 and 2, Terese, Lenson. Number 3 and 4, you can type the answer in the chat box. Nuran, 5, what did I say? 3 or 4, 5 and 6. And 7 and 8, who hasn't spoken? Monica, did you do one? Oh, Francesca.
Okay.
I have other exercises as well. Monica, you can do 7 and 8, and the other exercise, we'll check it out now. So if you're ready, we can start now.
Okay. Shtëpia ime është përballë shkollës.
Oh, you said it's very correct. You said my house is in front of the school. What if you want to say it in front of a school?
Then you say shtëpia ime është përballë shkolle.
Shkolle. But with a një in front. Indefinite.
Okay.
Yes. Përballë një shkolle. It would not be correct. Quite often një is optional, but it would not be here correct to drop it. It is correct, Shumir. So përballë shkollës, përballë një shkolle. Përballë in front of. Such a word needs the ablative. Mirë, the second?
Parku është pranë I'm unsure, but
Gender is feminine. Gender is feminine. So?
Genders?
Yes, correct.
Sagitated.
Sagitated, yes. So the park is near, close to the center of the city. The rest is genitive, right? But that's not today's topic, but cendras. Pran cendras near the center. Correct. Who has number 3? Oh, Lanson, I think you wrote it. No, he didn't write it yet. Who is ready?
Me.
Okay,
Number 7, you said. Parkova përballë shkollës, like number 1.
Correct. Përballë shkollës. It can be also indefinite. Përballë një
shkollë.
Shkolle.
Aktiviteti u zhvillua prapa palatit.
Palatit, shumë mirë. Prapa palatit. So the activity took place behind the palace.
Is it correct to say that most prepositions require the ablative case?
No. Actually, in the list above, let me go back. Where is it? In the list above, only one is a preposition here. Only pray.
Or adverbs.
Yeah, the rest are adverbs. Then adverbs of location. Yes, with adverbs of location, yes. Most of them ablative.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but not those of time, for example, today, tomorrow, next week, next month. Those no, for example. Or adverbs of quantity, a lot, a little bit, those no either. Of location, I would say yes. Mirë. Who else is ready? Did someone write something? Okay,
Lanson wrote in the chat box.
Shtëpia e tij është afër plazhit. That is correct. Afër plazhit, near the beach. Correct. If it were indefinite, it could be after një plazhi, near a beach. And let me see the next sentence. Un e ha mëngjesin në kafenen pranë stacionit të trenit. Correct. Stacionit. So I have my breakfast, or I eat the breakfast at the cafeteria near the train station. So stacionit, ablative. Pranë stacionit, or after stacionit, the same. Francesca, would you like to do number 5? Nuran has to go. So there is feminine, cravat is masculine.
Okay, I can try. Ai veshi gjaketën jashtë deret.
There is feminine.
Deret is feminine. Deres.
Deres, yes. After deres është shtëpis, correct. Jashtë deres është shtëpis. So deres shtëpis, that's the front door of a house.
Okay.
We call it the door of the house because it can be at the door of the room as well. That's why. After deres, jashtë deres është shtëpis. He wore his jacket outside the front door. And number 6.
Okay, what's cravat?
Cravat, bed.
Okay. Librin që kërkova e gjeta poshtë krevat.
So ablative, under the bed. Poshtë krevatit, correct. And it's better to say librin që po kërkoja, the book that I was searching.
Okay.
E gjeta, I found it, yes. Post shumë mirë, so ablative. These are all adverbs of location, and the noun after it's typically used in the definite form. Are there any questions here? Okay.
Oh,
So
I have
really
a question also.
Yes?
So we can use indefinite and definite, but now
It's up to
because I
you.
see now cravat.
Yes, it's up to you. So do you want
It
to
is
say
still
in front?
It is still okay.
Yes, it's both of them are okay. It's up to you what you want to say. So
You
near
can use
the
also
beach or near a beach.
crevati, stazioni.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay.
E gjeta poshtë një krevati, but how often you just say I found the book under a bed? I mean, it's very correct, but typically the definite is used. Most of the time is the definite used.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you repeat what vesh means? I forgot.
Vesh, to wear.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Wear, vesh. Here. And u zhvillua was developed or took place. Aktiviteti u zhvillua, the activity took place. Mirë, let's do slide 13.
Sorry, it doesn't veshi means here to put on?
To wear, to put on, yes.
Both.
To dress. He wore the jacket, he put on the jacket, it could be any of those. Slide number 13, we have another exercise here again about the ablative. Caroline, would you like to do the whole exercise? Or if the noun is feminine. If the noun is feminine, put e. If the noun is masculine, e. Very rarely, we have one here, very rarely takes an u.
Okay, buri im pi një got çumësht lope.
Correct, lope. Correct, çdo mëngjes. Shumë mirë. Do you know how to translate it?
Yeah, my husband drinks a glass of milk, cow's milk, every morning.
Shumë mirë, correct. So lope, that's the ablative. That's the ablative part.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Po ha buk me gjalp dhe me recel. Fiki.
Fiku. So if a noun ends in K or J or H, it takes an O. Only in those cases.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
That's why I say it's very rare as an ending.
Yeah, I have to say that I've only learned Albanian by listening to friends talking, so I haven't read any.
I see. Okay.
I think also in a vowel.
Pardon me?
Also in a vowel, if the noun ends in a vowel, like cow.
Cow, yes, correct. Cow, I cannot think of any other example. But yes, cacao. Or the name Ali, for example, Aliu. That name. Or Bari, shepherd, Bariu. Bariu, yes. Number 3.
And you want me to translate the number 2 or?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, I'm eating bread with butter with fig jam.
Jam, correct.
Adoleng mole apoleng portocali.
Lang mole, apollang portocali.
Portocali.
No, portocali, it's correct.
Portocali,
Oh,
well,
actually,
right.
so it should be like that. Portocali.
Mhm.
So the translation?
Adore. Do you want apple juice or orange juice?
Shumir, do you want apple juice or orange juice? And in the second one, you can leave lung out. It still is correct. It's understood from the previous one. Adolung mole, apple portocali. Nummer 4.
Bleva neer got vere, then neer got beere. They're both of them changed to an E.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Vere, beere.
I bought a glass of wine and a glass of beer.
So you got vere, then you got beere, a wine glass and a beer.
Wine glass and a beer glass, not a glass of wine. Okay.
Check out.
That's what I wanted to ask.
Yes, check out. I copied the same sentence in number 5. Check out. I put a there. That's when you are saying a glass of wine, a glass of beer.
Okay,
because those, that's where the me is understood, and it's not really used, but it's understood that it's me, a glass with wine and a glass with beer.
Got yes,
but we leave the me out most of the time. So we say you got vere, a wine glass, you got vere, a glass of wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, the vowel are very distinctive, so you cannot really confuse them. That's why, yes. So the second one it would be accusative, the previous one ablative. Okay, okay, questions? Can you put it here? Yeah, so I'll summarize it quickly. It was the 5th case we just talked about. In the next lesson, there will be nothing new on how to use the ablative. There will be something new on how to build the pronouns in ablative. The usage, nothing else. So what I just said earlier, we use it with chfar, and the noun always indefinite, meaning what type of, what kind of, or indicating surprise. We use it with these adverbs or prepositions of location, most of them. For example, sipas, it's not of location. So just a couple of them are not, but most of them prepositions or adverbs of location. We use the ablative, and it's up to you, definite or indefinite. Most of the time we use the definite, but again, it's up to you. Yeah. Yes. Maitas shtepis, tiaftas shtepis, could be any of those. Krahas is very used. Krahas ksai. So beside what I just said, krahas ksai, but that's a pronoun. We'll talk about it in the next lesson as well. So in addition, pravesh ksai, krahas ksai, yes. Lard and seeper, yes, both up, but seeper can also be on. So as I said, a good way to memorize this is if you put the opposites together. Learn opposites.
One question,
Yes.
Lard is seeper. What is the rate? Lard or seeper? Both. When it is used.
What? I didn't understand the question. What is the difference?
It's the same, no? Lard and seeper.
So yes, so both can mean up or above, but seeper has an extra meaning, can also mean on, such as on the table, for example.
So if
right?
it is
But
on
lard
the table,
does not have that
seeper. Okay.
Yes, lard does not have that meaning. So
because
lard can
I
also
always hear seeper above seeper. Where is this one? Seeper?
Lard can also be upstairs. right? And Sieper can also be upstairs, but just the difference is that Sieper has also the meaning of on. On the table, Sieper triezes, right? Okay. But you wouldn't say, I mean, you can say la triezes, but it means above the table.
Thank you.
Right, let's cover them. Yes, and check out a good way also to memorize them is that these, for example, have the same prefix per jad, per bal, per veg, per para, right? That's another good way to memorize them. Here, and the third usage, which is a bit confusing, but make sure you learn the previous cases before you do this one. When two nouns modify each other, both nouns have to be indefinite. If the first noun is definite, then it changes to the genitive case, the possession case. So that one there. So that's just a bit tricky, but as I said, memorize the previous cases and it will be easier then. Okay. Any other questions? Any words to translate? Can you all make a sentence in ablative? We'll start with Torben. Any of the usages?
Taš to te pije čaj nane?
Nane?
Minze, Pfefferminze?
Oh, how do you call it? Menteje.
Menteje.
Maybe it's from Kosovo. I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Chai menteje. Okay. Oh, so with chai, for example, with tea, there are many types of tea, so you can use the ablative. Chai mali, mountain tea, one of the most common ones in Albania. Chai mali. Chai, we have chai limoni. Chai, any other type of tea. Yes. Menteje, this is mint or pfeffermints. Yeah. Theater?
Čvar vajze bukur e
Yes, from here. Čvar vajze e bukur. So what a beautiful girl. Sa vajz e bukur would be the other option, but this is nominative. What else?
Banoj në Udine, që është një qytet afër Venecias.
After Venecias, correct. Theater?
Banoj afër apo pran një xhamie.
Correct. Banoj after or pran një xhamie. So xhamie, Shqipëri, Shqipërie. After ose pran. Correct. I live near a mosque. Lenson, you can write your answer if you want. Cecilia?
Filxhani në tavolinë është I bukur.
Where is the ablative?
Filxhan.
So
Filxhani.
Which usage? So we don't have far, we don't have near, far, left, right. We don't have two nouns modifying each other, so there is no ablative there. So you can say you can say
computerin është afër.
After yes, with after yes.
Është afër Filxhani.
So here's an example. Në tavolinë është një filxhan chai. On the table, it's a teacup. Right? A cup of the tea, a teacup. So that could be an example. Filxhan chai. So two nouns modifying each other. Sentences? Someone wrote something, I think. Çfarë mësimi I zorshëm. So what a difficult lesson. Çfarë mësimi I zorshëm. What a difficult lesson, correct? Mir, I think. Anyone else wants to say something? Caroline?
Yeah, it's been very useful, this lesson, really.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's very used. I mean, this construction is very used. Yes. Mir, so if you don't have any other lessons, questions, then I hope to see you in the next lesson in May, the first Sunday of May, just like the first Sunday of any month. You can subscribe on my YouTube channel in order not to miss the other future events. Okay, falimderit shumë.
Thank you. Faleminderit.
Faleminderit shumë.
Faleminderit edhe te.
Bye bye. Bye bye.